For me, July is really the beginning of summer garden season. I know a lot of other places in the US and around the world have had nice, warm, sunny weather for months now. Well, here in Western Washington or the Pacific Northwest, a lot of times people say summer starts July 5th. Well, here we are, the beginning of July. It's hot, it feels like summer, and my garden is still pretty small, but there is still plenty of time to get going. There's lots to do this month. It's also a transition from summer crops to fall crops, which seems crazy because the garden's not doing much yet. But I've got some tasks for you this month to keep your garden going so that you can harvest year-round. Hi friends, I'm Laura. This is Double Vision Homestead, and this is our July garden task video. So there's a lot. It's gonna be a busy month for me and anyone else that wants to keep their garden going year round, or at least into the fall harvest season. So looking around my garden, it doesn't really look like a summer garden yet. I know that's crazy, it's July, but we don't really get the heat that's needed to really get these summer crops going until about now. Now it's definitely hot. I'm feeling the heat. The first thing every month on our garden task list is to harvest what you grew, because what's the point if you're not gonna eat it? So I've got lots of things I'll be harvesting this month. My tomatoes are finally coming to size. They're big, they look really nice. I'm really looking forward to it, but I gotta wait a little bit longer for them to ripen. I haven't had any zucchini yet. I'm hoping that I'll get to them this month as well. The plants are starting to grow. They look healthy. I just haven't gotten them to produce yet. Green beans. Mine are just, well, I have two sets of them, one on each. I've got this arch above me, and I've got them growing here. They are just starting to flower on this side. You probably can't see them because there's all this other stuff mixed in. I like to mix in a lot of different things, get the most out of the space I have. So these ones are just starting to flower. They're pretty tall. By the end of the month, I expect they'll be all the way up covering this half of the trellis, and I'll be eating beans. This side, closest to me, has just sprouted, so they're a little bit further behind. I just planted them a couple weeks ago, and soon they will catch up and they will be producing as well. So I will be eating green beans this month. A lot of my spring crops are coming to an end. My snap peas, they are delicious. I'm always excited for them. And then once I get to this point in the year, I'm pretty good with not having any more the rest of the season. We've been eating a lot of them. There's a lot in my freezer. We will have plenty of peas for us for the year. But I need to harvest the last of those so that I can put something else in. I've got onions that are starting to become ready, garlic that is very close to being ready. I'm just now harvesting the scapes. And then I have shallots that are probably a little bit past ready that need to be harvested as well. For fruit, my apricots look like they're getting close. I have figs that look like they're getting close. I don't know how long kiwis take, but there's a lot of them on there, so hopefully those will be coming in this month. Lots of blueberries. Last year, I feel like we got no blueberries whatsoever. The birds got most of what did ripen, but now we've got blueberries. We've got loads and loads of blueberries where the bushes are just laying down on the ground because they're so heavy. And I'm okay with that. The more the better. I've been harvesting raspberries as well. They're delicious. I will keep harvesting them. I don't have a huge amount, so it's pretty much a garden snack. Every time I come out here, I'm like, oh, I wonder how many more raspberries I get. And I grab a handful, I eat them, and there's still more tomorrow when I come back. My lettuces are coming to an end. I'll probably harvest the rest of those in the next couple of days because it looks like they're starting to bolt. But I do have another set of lettuces that are hopefully going to last a little bit longer. We do love fresh salads, especially in the summertime when it's hot and you just kind of want something cool and refreshing to eat. As you can see right here, my cilantro, a lot of it is flowered. I have different batches of it. Some of it is ready to harvest, some of it is flowering and going to seed. As soon as those seeds are ready, I'll just sprinkle them back in that same area so that there will be more cilantro that comes in the fall. But we do love cilantro. It's probably the herb we use the most, and I just love the flavor, so I could put it in pretty much anything and be happy with it. Oh, how could I forget? My peppers. My peppers are definitely going to start being ready this month. It's been a rough spring for us in the Pacific Northwest. We've had a lot of cool nights until really the last couple weeks. We didn't get above, I think this may be the first week where we were above 50 degrees at night for the entire week. So that's insane. And plants like peppers really let you know that they're not happy with it. Even if it's been warm during the day, it's been cold at night. So that's all I'm going to be harvesting this month, which is a lot. I love the abundance of July and August. There's so much food. It makes me happy. But there are lots of work that goes along with it. Number 2, my next task after harvesting is just keeping the plants alive. That may seem like a small task, but I think it's a very important one to put effort into and to just keep things going. So as you can see, I've got mulch. I've got mulch everywhere because honestly, I'm not going to be out here watering every single day. It's just not going to happen. So I got to keep as much moisture and keep these plants happy so that they keep producing for me. And along with that, I do need to be watering. I know I said I'm not going to be out here every day, but I do need to be out here as necessary. When the soil is drying up, I need to be out here. Right now, when I'm in that transition of the taking out spring crops, putting in summer crops, there's a lot of open space because these plants get very large, so they're spaced out a lot. In a couple weeks, they'll grow in and cover up that soil, but for now, it's going to dry out quickly if I don't have it covered with some kind of mulch. Along with that, a lot of people like to fertilize their plants. That is along with keeping them alive and healthy. There's some birds joining me, so I can get a little distracted here. Robins, go away. They like to eat a lot of my stuff, so you know it's just going to taunt me and eat some blueberries right in front of me, but it's part of sharing with nature, I guess. So fertilizing your plants, you just got to be careful. Follow the directions on the package. Don't think you can just, I'll just pour a little bit here and there, because you can burn your plants and kill them. So make sure you follow directions if you're going to fertilize. I don't do a lot of fertilizing of my garden beds because I add compost every year, so there's extra nutrients in that. And along with that, a lot of times when I plant, I just add like organic fertilizers like bone meal and blood meal, and it just kind of stays in the soil. It doesn't get washed out so quickly like a liquid fertilizer does. So I won't be doing a lot of those type of things, but if you do, be careful. Don't kill your plants. I have done that. Lots of people have done that. It happens. Just follow the directions. Next on the list is pruning and containing your plants. So I grow a lot of things like my tomatoes that I grow up a string, so I need to keep on top of those, prune off anything that's not going to be attached to the string, keep coming out here, clipping the top up higher and higher so that it's attached to it. I also have other things that I have on a trellis. Sometimes they don't grow like they're supposed to. I just need to come out here and check on them, help them out as needed so that they don't fall over and break and the vine dies. I also have a lot of spring vegetables that that they've come to the end. I need to get rid of them and make room for my next my next vegetables that will be going in their place. So my peas, like I said earlier, are very much close to the end of their life. They're starting to yellow. They just aren't growing as sweet and as good as they are in the cooler weather. So I'm okay with getting rid of them, getting more sunlight into the other plants that are around them. Where they are, it's not really a space that I need right now, but that's where I will also be planting my peas in the fall, which comes up very soon. My summer to fall season for gardening is very short. So on that, it's still time to keep planting. A lot of people think if you don't have your garden going right now, it's too late, you can't have anything. Well, that's not the case. There are plenty of crops that will grow if you plant them now, and you'll harvest them well before your frost date. But that's the important thing. You need to know when your last frost date is. For me, it's the end of October. So I've got a lot of time left. Yes, things don't grow as quickly and like in the fall as they do in the summertime. So you do need to add probably a couple weeks to the length of the time from seed to harvest, but there's still lots of time. So I will be starting a lot of fall vegetables this month, probably more towards the end of the month instead of right away. But I will start my brassicas indoors just because it's easier and I don't really have the space for it. I got to figure out where they're going to go. I am kind of a make things fit kind of gardener, not so much the plan it all out and map where everything's going to go. So every year it looks a little different, and it's kind of exciting because I never know how it's going to go. So for brassicas, I will plant some cabbage, some broccoli. My family doesn't eat a lot of kale, so I think I'm going to skip that for the fall, because otherwise I grow it, nobody likes it, and there's not a point to it. But it's a great one to grow because it just keeps producing. It's like you can't run out of it. You cut it, you come out the next day, and it's like it's doubled in size somehow. And then I have things that I will plant directly into my garden beds as a free up space. So once a lot of these salad greens come out, I will just kind of top off the soil, add a little bit more compost to it, and then we love root vegetables, so I will be putting more carrots in. I've planted them already 3 times this year in different places. They take a long time to grow, so none of those are ready. Some are getting close, but none of them are ready yet. But I want to keep it going so that I can keep harvesting carrots as the season goes on. So I will be removing all these greens, topping it off, filling it with fall root vegetables. So that mostly for us is carrots, but there will also be some beets, maybe some parsnips. We also stay away from rutabagas because I haven't found a way that I really like the taste. I think it's edible, I just don't think it's good. So it's not really something I want to waste space on in my garden. So I will grow those, but this will also be full. There are melon plants that are in there. You can't see them because they're little tiny things, but they will also take over, and then there will be carrots and beets, and further into the season I'll plant some more radishes as well, and that'll be all mixed in, and they'll grow great together. Now we've got some chores that, let's be honest, I don't think anyone really enjoys, and that is weeding. I've got some areas that weeds are really just kind of taken over. You know what? It's on my list all the time, but it's the one I really hate doing. So I make sure that the beds are clear that I'm planting in, but there's a lot of weeds. Last year I got to feeling like I didn't want to be in the garden a whole lot at the end of the season. Weeds took over, and I'm still trying to catch up from then. So you will see lots of weeds in my garden space, and a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed with it. Just pick a small spot. Don't try to do it all in one day, because you're just gonna be like, I'd rather not be in the garden than spend the whole time weeding. So do a little bit at a time. Eventually we will catch up. I don't know when that will be, but someday we will catch up on this weeding and we'll have the beautiful gardens that are thriving. And then we're also getting to the time of the year that things are just going to die. It just happens. Plants don't last forever. Most of these vegetables and fruits are annuals that we plant in our yearly garden, and so they have a life cycle. They thrive for a while. We get to eat their abundance, and eventually they come to the end of their life. So, like with this cilantro, which is now producing coriander, which is the seed of the cilantro. I don't really eat that. There's options you can use. You can either collect the seeds, save them for next year, or like with this, where I'll just sprinkle them back in there and let them keep going so I don't have to keep planting. Or you just remove it and take it out and save the space for something else. Put something else in, let it grow, and forget that something died in its spot. The way that I keep my garden going is I'm always planting. Things die, things get eaten. It happens. It's just part of gardening. So, shed your tear if you need to, and then do something about it and make your garden better. So I hope this list of tasks is helpful to you. I've got a lot to get to. Might as well stop talking and get to them. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you again soon in the garden.